manage that, optimize this, and don't forget to calculate the revenue. Today, I'm gonna help you with the latter. Ladies and gentlemen, I introduce you to the eCPM, a publisher's best tool to track business success. Like, subscribe, hit the bell, and let's roll. What is eCPM? eCPM stands for Effective Cost Per Mil, where mil is leading for 1,000 impressions. How to calculate eCPM? Take the total ad revenue, split it by the number of impressions, and multiply it by 1,000. So basically, eCPM helps to answer the question, how much money do we make per 1,000 impressions? So does eCPM correlate with the real publisher's revenue? Yes, it does. But believe it or not, eCPM was not always a publisher-specific metric. So in the past, RPM took its role, which literally stood for revenue per mil. Those are the same concepts, but with different names. So at first, eCPM used to be more of an advertiser's metric, but publishers soon started using it more to better vibe with brands. Now, eCPM is the industry standard term. Why is eCPM important? Think of eCPM as Batman's detective vision, but for publishers. This metric allows them to compare ad units, ad formats, and audiences to optimize their revenue better. So, what is the difference between eCPM and CPM? Actually, CPM, or cost per mil, is a metric for advertisers. It is similar to the eCPM formula, but we have already explained the pricing model differences in a separate video, so be sure to check it out. Take the total campaign budget, split it by the received number of impressions, and multiply it by 1,000. And now you have your CPM. However, you don't want to use this metric at the publisher. Why? Because different advertisers bid on ad impressions with different CPMs, so the price of each isn't fixed. And eCPM is an average of all CPMs. What's better, eCPM isn't limited to CPM, but can also be applied to any pricing method like CPA or CPC. Why is eCPM low? eCPM is a great contextual metric. If it's low, something probably not okay. Let's look at 4 factors that heavily impact the eCPM rates. Factor 1. Website speed. Do you know that 1 in 4 visitors would leave the site if it took more than 4 seconds to load? Site speed is what defines engagement and whether the ad reaches its audience. If the UI looks like this, it won't do you any good either. Factor 2. Location. Norway, the US, Germany, and the UK have one thing in common. They are all top-tier ad markets where publishers usually get higher eCPM rates. On the contrary, emerging markets bring lower values. Factor 3. Ad placements. Different needs, different ads. We already have a nice guide on placement strategy, and be sure to check it out in the description. In short, some ad formats perform better on one website type and some on the others. What else should you keep in mind? We'll soon return to this question. Factor 4. Traffic. The quality of traffic and where you get it from greatly impacts how much money you'll get. As for traffic selling optimization, let's roll to the next part. How to increase eCPM in 5 steps. Surely, to make your eCPM shrug like an atlas, you'll need a deep rebalance of selling strategy. But these 5 steps are a great starting point. Step 1. Experimentation. If something doesn't work, change it. The most obvious reason for low eCPM is the lack of proper traffic. Offer your ad inventory to several ad networks to increase its value. Change your SSP to the one that offers more effective traffic and multiple demand sources. Step 2. Improve UX. The web is becoming more and more user-centric, so follow the trend. Firstly, work on a competent user interface. The award-winning designs you see right now have very much in common. They look simple, stylish, and get straight to the point of their advertising. Secondly, again, improve the speed of your website. Optimize images, remove render block in JavaScript, and limit the use of external scripts. There are many things you could do to make your page go fast without serious changes in code. And lastly, if your website still doesn't support mobile devices, correct this immediately. The mobile market is growing like crazy, and it's easy to notice without any graphs. But to prove our point, the numbers are here on your screen. Step 3. Optimize placements for higher paying formats. For publishers who know their stuff, ad placement is almost an RTS without fancy graphic effects. Promoted listings only work for e-commerce, but they often exceed organic placements. Outstream video ads don't need a dedicated player, but they can't be listed on SSPs. Rich media ads bring better eCPM but spam them everywhere and say goodbye to user engagement. Ad placement is all about decisions. So, step 4, use an ad server. Outperforming a McLaren on a bicycle is impossible, but the same goes for outperforming publishers with an ad server when you don't have one. An ad server gives plenty of tools to impact low eCPMs. Check out advanced analytics on best performing ad formats, get clean placement profits from advertisers omitting ad network markups, and there is much more. Step 5. Advanced features. The last is for the veteran publishers who are long in the game and know a thing or two about an ad server. So Epom ad server and probably some others support 2 fundamental features that could increase eCPM even in the worst cases. The first is auto-refresh custom code. This means adding a custom code with a sequence of images and setting a time after which they will change one another. Surely, that will require additional coding, but auto-refresh is suitable for nearly every format and sells more expensive than regular placements. The second is eCPM optimization with a burn-up period. In short, this feature redistributes traffic based on its performance for the last n hours. It's far more complicated than that, but as a result, the system makes sure you receive the highest eCPM as a publisher. To be completely honest, these 5-step type videos are all a bit clickbait. Increasing your eCPM will require time, patience, and money, but we hope that our little guide will be of use. Subscribe to our channel or your eCPM will drown in the abyss. Stay tuned and see you next time.